So I'm gonna present to you the IPC products, the features and everything related with the Uniview products. So you guys will see that pretty much the products are advanced and they're better than the other companies around. So as he mentioned, Ultra 265 is more than just a video technology. It does a higher compression rate with lower bandwidth. You guys will see that in a minute. Just remember that keyword, Ultra H265. What is Ultra H265? As everyone knows, it's just the standard video technology nowadays, but Uniview developed their own technology called UCO technology. So together, they name it Ultra H265. As he mentioned as well, Super is for IP cameras and Star is for the NVR system. So as you guys see, together they make a superstar. So always remember IP cameras with the name Super and Star for the NVRs. That's their keyword. So now Ultra H265, let's go over the Super, right? Every IP camera has the smart feature. And under the smart feature, you guys will see what it comes with, and I will go over the presentation. It has video content analysis, alarm trigger, smart search. Under UCode is enhanced video coded technology. Under picture, you have your standard true WDR, smart IR. They develop a technology called varifocal laser that can go up to 1,000 feet at night on a PTZ camera. It's a laser. You're not gonna see the laser pointing to people. It's infrared. That'll be funny. PTZ lasers all over, right? But no, it's not like that. And the long range PoE, you guys will like long range PoE as well. We'll go over in a second. And also ANR. And 12-volt DC output from the IP camera itself. Reliability, IP6 is water and weatherproof, and IK10 for vandal resistance. And one of the main good features is also wide voltage tolerance. We'll go over in a bit, but those are the main key points of the IP cameras. Now let's begin to the section number 1, which is smart solutions, right? Every IP camera that you buy, it doesn't matter which one it is, every IP camera has face detection, scene change, people counting. Auto tracking is only for PTZ, intrusion detection, cross-line detection, and defocus detection. How does that work, right? Face detection, you have a camera pointing to the door. Everybody or anyone that comes into the door, it would take a snapshot of their face and store it in the DVR. So later on, if something happens, and the person's too scared to kind of think like, oh, I don't know when it happened, but I remember the person's face. You can go ahead into the NVR and you're gonna see that face of that person. You just double click and it goes directly when that specific person was on the screen. That's how face detection works. Intrusion detection, you have a safe in your office. You don't want nobody to get close or try to open it. You draw a box or an area of interest within the screen, and that way somebody comes close to the safe, puts their hand into that box or inside your area of interest, it would trigger the NVR to send you an email alert or a snapshot or do any of the any of the alerts that is designed on the NVR. Scene change. If your camera is looking at a parking lot and somebody throws a rock or a stick or anything and it moves the camera to a different point of view or angle of view, the camera is smart enough to know that the scene change is not the same where the camera was looking. So it can send you an email notification with a snapshot letting you know, hey, someone moved me, fix me, or something happened, right? Line cross detection works very similar to intrusion, but this works best, for example, if you have a parking lot and there's two exits exits. Oh my God, I can't even pronounce that. And you don't want nobody to go out through that exit, so you put a line on that exit from point A to point B. If a car goes throughout, it goes through that line, it can send you the same notifications, email, or Snapchat, or upload to an FTP, letting you know somebody crossed the line. If a car comes in through the other side, it will not detect it unless it's point B to A or A to B. It's directional from left to right or right to left. People counting. This is great for businesses. You don't need a special laser counting or anything. Every camera, you just point it to the door, you draw a line, and you could also detect the width of the shoulders of the person. So if a person walks in with a dog, it's not gonna count the dog. It will always count the person. It can count how many people comes in and how many people walks out. At the end, you can search and it will tell you throughout the hours on a graph how many walk in and walk out in your business. So you guys will know, or your customers will know, when is the busiest time of the day. This works best for bars or restaurants or anything that has a high traffic, even malls and stuff like that, right? Defocus works like if the camera gets defocused somehow, red light or something that make the lens move or vibration, it will send you an email notification as well, or any type of alarm letting you know that the camera is not focused properly. So that way you can go fix it or tell the customer to fix it. Auto tracking, it will work with the PTZ. Once the PTZ is in a stationary position, if an object walks by, it will track it, lock it, and it will follow it and zoom in and out on that object until it loses the object. Once it loses the object out of the screen, after a couple seconds, it goes back to the home position, and if something else moves, it will lock it and track it as well. That's the auto tracking feature. Any of this is a smart VCA, video content analysis. It is on all IP cameras, except the auto tracking for the PTZ. Now, every time you trigger any of those events or alarms, this is the type of alarms that the NVR can do. It can send an email with a snapshot. It can upload the image to an FTP server. It can also record to the SD card if it has one. And it can do tracking because the cameras can also do alarm output. As I mentioned, take a snapshot or call a preset on that PTZ. Alright, now once you're recording any of those video content analysis, right, you always want to find it easily. So they made it easy to find it on their search timeline. As you guys can see right here, normal recording is this blue one. Let's say is recording continuously. The red is by event, only let's say by motion. And the green one is the smart, meaning when any of those BCA was triggered. So that way you don't have to be sitting down for 20-30 minutes trying to find when somebody crossed the line on the line crossing detection. You can find it easily on the timeline. Now, now let's go over the UCO technology. Why Ultra H.265, right? This is gonna be good for all of you guys. In basic terms, Ultra H.265 will compress up to 95% of the video in bandwidth and in storage. The cameras have two modes. The basic mode that works with third-party VMS or MBRs that will just compress it from 25 to 80%. But if you really want to cut down the bandwidth and the space, you need Uniview MBR with Uniview IP camera in order for you to achieve the advanced mode, Ultra H.265, that can compress up to 95% of video. But we'll go over that too. Now, this is a question everyone has been asking. A lot of you may do IP surveillance and have a slow network or a 100 megabit network. So how many 2 megapixel cameras can be carried on a 20 megabyte network, right? Typically with H.264 you could only carry 5. With UCO technology or Uniview, you can carry up to 20 cameras on a 20 megabit network, meaning local. So you can watch a lot of cameras remotely with a 20 megabit as well. Not only you could also see them good, but the storage compression is higher. For how long can one 4 terabyte hard drive can store one channel at 1080p resolution? Typically 3 months. This is continuously, right? With Uniview, one hard drive at 1080p, it's 1 year. That is a lot of space for just 1 terabyte. And if you guys can see right here, 2 megapixels with Ultra H.265 is only 1 Mbps. And to show you the compression rate, 4K, which is 4 times 1080p, it's only 2 Mbps. The compression rate is insane, if you ask me. Now, people think because it's compressed, it's gonna look cheap. It's gonna look crappy, right? It won't. I'll show you guys in a bit. This is the regular H.264, which the bit rate, whether there's movement or not, it takes 4 megabits to 5. This is the standard H.265, which is almost 1 megabit, right? Let's go over to a video, and then you guys will see the difference. Alright, on the top is a H.264 with no movement. It's wasting a lot of bandwidth. On the bottom is H.265, no movement. Oh, look at that, only 35 kilobits. Very low. Now when there's movement, and it's the same video quality, there is no difference. Now when you start seeing the objects moving, on the top you still have the same amount of bandwidth being wasted, 4 to 5 sometimes. On the bottom, now it's only 600 to 700 kbps.
Is that the Ultra?
No, the Ultra, that's just regular H.265. You guys will see the Ultra right now. But you guys see the difference between the videos? You can't tell. Look, he's gonna miss. Look, he's having a hard time trying to shoot it. Look. 1, 2, hit it. And then you see somebody running with the arrow on their head or something. Alright, now this is with the U code disabled. Once the U code is enabled with advanced mode, look how much you can reduce it. Yeah, this is the advanced mode. And it's the same video quality, but now the compression rate is a lot. Look, he's still having a hard time drawing that arrow. And we paused it because then you actually see somebody getting stabbed with. Let's go to the next slide. Now, let's go over picture quality on the cameras. All the cameras, as you guys know what is the Starlight, right? Starlight is pretty much a camera that can see color at low light situations. Now they develop a new technology, they call it Super Starlight. This is your typical Starlight, 002 lux. That is any Starlight out there. Uniview Super Starlight is 0005, which is a lot lower than your regular Starlight. Let's check out a video so you guys will see the difference. The image quality at night is a lot better. This is the Super Starlight, same location, and that is the regular Starlight. And this is how people in China have fun at night. Look at that. They go to the park and they just go on the slides. Grown men over there having fun in China. I want to travel and just go to that place at night, just to do that. Look at how much fun these guys having. Look at that. You see? Damn, that's amazing. But you guys can see the Super Starlight. Even in the CMOS quality, like the shutter speed, it's a lot clear. I would just rewind it again because I like to see them going down the slide. I'm jealous. Look, you see on this one it's a lot more clear than the other one, regular Starlight. On the Starlight it's a little bit blurry, and on this one it's a lot clear. That is their Uniview Super Starlight 0005 Lux. Now let's go to the next slide. Now also they have True WDR. How does True WDR works? If you have a camera inside your business pointing to the outside, typically the outside light is a lot higher than your inside light. So if you have a camera, everybody that walks in, you see them black. You don't see the color or anything. So WDR works by having the foreground and the background at a stable level of light, so everything is clear no matter what the person walks in or out. You guys will see right here the feature of the True WDR. And this can help you identify whether the girl that's coming in is cute or not. Look at that. On the right side, True WDR. On the left side, it's off. See the difference? A lot clear on this side, and the other side's pretty much I cannot tell. So on the left side, you're probably thinking, wow, that's a cute girl, right? But if you enable WDR, you probably think, never mind. You know? So that's how WDR can help you to identify the person. You see? So let's go into the next slide. Also, they have Smart IR. Alright, Smart IR works by in the night, if you get closer to the camera, your face will be overexposed, so you only see a white face. You're not gonna be able to tell whether it's a person or something that comes close to the camera. So with Smart IR, the camera would auto balance the amount of light, and that way you can say, look how happy he looks working at nighttime. You see that? Very happy. On here, you cannot tell how he looks. On here, you could clearly see who he was. You see? Do it again. That's how Smart IR works. All the IP cameras have it. Okay? Also, they have varifocal laser. You can see a person up to 500 meters at night. And also, this is how they make the horror movies in China. Okay? Check this out. Total darkness, now zombies. If you go in the night and if you see a guy walking with their hats on their back, never trust that guy. Okay? Never trust those guys that walk with their hands behind their back. So 500 meters, you can still be able to tell that's a person going in that way. That is varifocal laser. Uniview is the only one that developed that technology on their PTZs. And they also have 4K resolution on Ultra H.265, which the bandwidth will be very low in consumption. Now, as you guys can see right here, this is for all of you that have iPhone 7 Plus. This is a wonderful picture of iPhone 7 Plus in the same location of the Super Starlight. This is the scenario that the Starlight can make. So you guys can tell what kind of lighting they were using. They were not using any lighting. This is your iPhone 7 Plus. That is the Super Starlight. Now, here you go again, WDR, whether she's cute or not. Simple as that. But no, as you guys can tell, everything is lit up on the left side, and the front, and on the walkway. Everything is lit up, and without WDR, everything is dark because the camera is focusing on the back. Now, as I mentioned, Smart IR, it can focus the the infrareds to reduce the amount of light, so always the object is in focus and you do not see an overexposure picture. And then the Ultra 4K, as you guys can see, optical zoom, which is in a PTZ, you can tell these are people. How far is that? I don't know, a mile, two? That is with a 44 times zoom. I will show you guys a video of the 44 times zoom. Now, the fisheye camera that we have over here on the table, the 8 megapixels and 12 megapixels, you do not need an NBR to dewarp the image. The IP camera has a built-in dewarping solution that can give you the dewarped images as one camera for or half and half. You don't need a back-end NBR to dewarp it. It's built into the fisheye camera. Now, optical defog, that's another technology that they developed with the laser IR. And here we go. Here's a video of how the laser IR and optical defog looks like. Now you know why they always make China look beautiful. This is China normally, right? Look at how beautiful that looks, right? Amazing, huh? Very clean. Clean air. Then with optical defog, which is in all of their cameras, it looks like that. Now you guys see optical defog helps a lot with clearing out the fog, most likely. There's gonna be another video. You guys will see that. What is that over there? We don't know yet. That is a very famous tower in China, right? With optical defog, that's how it turns on the vision. You could also see a guy there peeping with binoculars and being stalking people and stuff like that, but yeah. So that is what optical defog can do in a lot of locations. That is with the laser PTZ camera. Good image, huh? Yes? Before you couldn't see anything there, so now with the defog, now you're able to tell that's a tower, there's a bridge, and there's cars passing by as well. Now, we're going to show you a demonstration of 44 times zoom. Uniview developed the first PTZ camera with 44 times zoom. It is the one that can zoom the longest. How far? Do you guys see a car over here? No, right? You guys cannot tell there's a car all the way over there, right? Will you be impressed if you can see a license plate all the way over there? Well, check this out. Now you can stalk your favorite, I don't know, friend. Check that out. And that's why there's so many accidents in China, because people just stop in the middle of the road to be zoomed in by a PTZ camera. You guys can tell the license plate. Look at that guy. Look, crash, and zoom. Nope, yes. Oh no, he moved. But you guys see how far the PTZ camera can reach? That's 44 times zoom. It's pretty far if you're asking me. I could not tell the car from here. Once you zoom in, you see that? Pretty long if you ask me. Pretty far, not long. So we go over the next one. Now let's go over the easy to use. Why are the IPCs from Uniview easy to use? Now, long range PoE, this is very important. Now you can run up to 1,000 feet of Cat5 or Cat6 without any repeaters or any extenders, just plug and play camera PoE. Only one specific model, IPC2026X, can do 1,000 feet. Only one. But the rest of the cameras can do 850 feet. No repeaters, no extenders. This is great when you want to run now IP network. Typically, it's only 300 feet for PoE, which is 100 meters. Now you can go 850 feet without cutting the cable or anything. You just run the cable, put the Cat5 connectors, connect the camera, and you're done. It's amazing, right? They're all plug and play. Just simply plug the camera to the NVR, wait 20 seconds to a minute, the camera comes up in your screen. Then they have micro SD card and also A&R. I'll go over A&R so you guys will know what A&R means. They're all 3-axis, meaning you can mount the camera anywhere and you could always focus it to any angle desired. So you don't have to have the camera always mounted on a wall or in a ceiling. You can mount it however you like and you can point it to any direction that you want. And then the last thing, some IP cameras have 12-volt DC output. You don't have to run an extra wire to run a microphone or to run a siren or to run a light or to run anything that requires 12 volt. The IP camera has 12-volt DC output right from the camera. Now, easy to use, right? Long range PoE. Typically it's 300 feet, and with Uniview you can go up to 850 to 1,000 feet just straight from the NVR to the IP camera. No extenders, no repeaters. 12-volt DC output. You have the 12-volt DC output directly from the IP camera. You don't need to run an additional power supply. Now let's go over why are they reliable. They have IP67 and IP66 for weather and waterproof. IK10 for bundle and those ghetto areas. Now you have 25% minus plus Y voltage tolerance. What does that mean? Meaning, for example, every other product has only 10%. So if you had 12 volts, 10% of 12 volts is like around 2.5 volts, right? So the camera can work with 10 volts minus or 14 volts. But with this, you can work the camera with like 16 to 17 volts and up to 9 volts. This is ideal for power that is not stable. So that is a very big key point, is 25% voltage tolerance. When you run power and the power drops up and down, so most of the cameras will drop or you will not see the video. With this, it will always stay on. And now the temperature is the highest I've seen. You could put it on the desert, 158 degrees, pretty much you can toast the bread with that. Or you can really freeze anything with minus 104 degrees. So these cameras will work in Alaska and they will work in the middle of the desert, no matter what. So now let's go over some good qualities on a product. This is a little bullet camera that has this. If you guys see there, Osram is a manufacturer that creates the LEDs for the high-end cars, high-end luxury cars, such as Audi, BMW, Lexus, Mercedes, right? And this IP camera only needs 2 of those Osram LEDs to create the brightness of at least 20 to 30 LEDs from other companies. Now they develop their own anti-reflection IR glass. The IR will not reflect, and it will not attract any bugs or spiders during the night, because bugs are attracted to LED or infrared light at night. You probably get customers saying, hey, why there's so many flies in the night or mosquitoes or anything. With this, you will not have a problem. Now, on this IP camera has a built-in micro SD card with 16 gigabytes, built in because you don't need to open anything and mess with IP66 protection. It's always sealed. eMMC is the memory grade that you have in your phones. It lasts longer than regular memory cards. It can read and write faster than any other memory card that you have. It's the same memory card that you have in your phones. Now, two OSRAMs LEDs can light up a person 100 feet. On your left hand side, you guys see that only two LED lights light up the left side better than the competitors, right? This is a standard LED from any other competitors. And that's only with two. Now imagine with 4 or 6 or 8 of those OSRAM LEDs, the brightness of it will be a lot cleaner. Then the anti-reflection glass helps the LED to brighten it up to 8%, versus the competitors, it's just a glass. And that's why you get bugs at night. Now the last one, I believe, is that concludes the Super. Now this is the Star products. This is the Super Starlight, which has a 1.8 lens, Sony Starvis sensor. The Starlight has 0005 lux, minimum illumination, True WDR, and IP67. So this camera, you can put it anywhere and it will always work pretty much. Now this one is another very interesting product. It's a Starlight Mini PTZ that you could run on PoE. You don't have to run a special cable to it. Just connect it to the NVR, it's plug and play. It has the option to have a smoke dome cover. Just in those cases, let's say you put this camera on a bar, strip club, on a pool place, wherever there's low light conditions, that would be great for that. It's an indoor PoE like I mentioned, and it's in ceiling mount. So you only will see just the little bubble popping up out of the ceiling, which is a great thing to have. Once I mentioned, smoke dome cover is optional. Now this will be most likely your best seller. Why? It is a small motorized eyeball. It has a 2.8 to 12 motorized zoom lens, IP67's waterproof, built-in microphone, and you can put a micro SD card up to 128 gigs. Uniview considers this camera already one of their best sellers. It's a very small dome, but very powerful. And that concludes the features of the IP cameras. Once again, super smart, UCOL picture, easy to use, and reliable. Right now, you guys can go up, stretch your legs, have some coffee, have some water. We'll be back like in 10 minutes or 15 minutes, so we go over the NVR features, all right? Thank you so much for your attention.